I started trusting. Like I trust now. I'm like like I said, I don't know what in the beginning, cause like we still don't talk on the phone. Like even to the day, we still never talked on the phone. Like it was always through text message. I don't know why, but it's always been like that. So I still felt a sense of trust with him. So that's when I was like, he had said something, and I told him like it's been over like a month. It's going on 5 weeks. If I don't see you, I know that weekend he had his daughter. So I said the next time I see you is gonna be 6 weeks. He's like, wait, it's been that long? He's like, damn, I've been working way too much because I ain't even know it's been that long. But why don't you just tell me that I need to bring that here or whatever? So I started laughing. I was like, I don't, because of what happened with the dude in Orlando, I didn't want to seem like too pushy, even though a lot of times I was. But I didn't want it to seem like I was just overly this like sexualized person that always was fiending for it or whatever. It was just that his shit was always hit good. So of course I would be fiending for his, but um I didn't want him to feel like that's the type of person I was, but because really I wasn't. Like he's the first, except the dude in Orlando, but it was not as intense because Devon, he was like in my city, like literally 15 minutes away from my house. So there's no excuses. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we could have went 6 months without seeing each other because we stay in the same fucking city. I'm sorry to say it like that, but because I was thinking about the dude from Orlando and how people be like, "Oh, you left him in a time of his when he was down." No, I wasn't. He was still working. He was still doing his daily activities every time he was doing the same thing every single time since we met each other. He was doing the same thing, so I didn't understand what he was talking about when he was saying that he was still down and out, because he still stayed in the same apartment. He just didn't have a car, and by this time, like, I know he got his stimulus, so it was not like he was really down and out. So that's why I couldn't understand what he was keeping so secretive from me. That's why I was like, no, if you can't tell me what's going on, what am I sticking here? What am I sticking around for? You can't tell me the truth. But anyways, so when Devon ended up like he didn't know it was that we went so long without seeing each other, because it went on every other weekend, or times like we would see each other like in the daytime when I wasn't working. So he was like, oh, you need to start telling me to bring that thing here or whatever. So then he said something. He was like, damn, I wish you was free. I said, I'm not locked up. I'm not locked up. I'm home. And he was like, no, like, when do you have free time or whatever? So that's when I was like, I trust him enough to start inviting him to my house or whatever. So because my children's room was on the other side of the house, and then we would still text each other on nights that I couldn't sleep. So I knew like I would be up the whole night. It's not like he can roam around my house. So we set up a date for him to come to my house. And so ever since that one day, like every time he would come, like my kids always knew when he was coming over, because my son would be sleeping with the two youngest girls, and I would tell them like I have my friend over, and I would lock the door, and if they needed anything, they just could knock on the door. But at this, even though they never seen him, like I said, I wasn't gonna introduce him until I was sure about him, because I didn't want the last four to like see a dude that I'm interested in, and then he doesn't work out. So I wanted to make sure, but I also wanted to be in the comfort of my own home too. Because when we would smoke with each other, like like I said, I'm not a heavy smoker like that. So it would take me about like 3 or 4 pulls before I was like to the point where I wasn't going to sleep, but I was just calm or whatever. So he would do most of the talking. And like this is about like 3 or 4 times that he's been to my house late night, because he would come like around 12 o'clock, 11, 12 o'clock a lot of times. By then, all the kids are sleeping. And mind you, when my autistic daughter would wake up, she would just be in the living room. But when I would let him through my side door, I would always face the hallway. So that way, if I was seeing any kids, because I really didn't want my kids to see him. Because I didn't want them thinking, because like I said, the last 3 really don't know what their dad looks like. So I didn't want them thinking like, oh, this is their dad coming or whatever, and thinking like, so then my oldest 2 would start like, no, my oldest would start getting upset. But like at this time, my son's working and he's driving. So, because one time he ended up coming home and Devon was there. Of course, I know everybody looks out my window, so I knew he seen Devon and knew that it wasn't the last 4's father, like, that was coming over. Because at first he was starting to get a real attitude with me. And I guess when he seen that it wasn't their father, his attitude kind of just went, but he still wasn't sure. And I'll tell y'all that when that time comes. So this one particular night,